It was a special Tuesday. My first Tuesday not having to wake up at the crack of dawn and travel from subject to subject for 6 hours straight, with only a small window for food and bathroom. Driving out to the woods that morning, I truly had no idea what I was doing or where this would take me. I mean, I knew I wanted to create something and turn that creation into a piece that was impactful, but I had nothing meaningful to say. The whole time, I was stressing over the camera, setting up the gear, the lighting, all this bullshit, knowing the page would still be blank when it was finally time to press record. Working so hard to achieve some shallow form of perfection, it finally clicked. I feel like in culture, we see people doing so many things to look pretty, when underneath the mask is either a blank canvas or a masterpiece that nobody ever gets to see, except the person that denies its own existence. Now I hope that made sense. I mean, in this day and age, it seems kinda obvious. It's like we're all slowly trading our truth for a curated version of ourselves. All to save face and to be more human. But the deeper we bury the truth, the harder it is to dig it up and learn from it. A world shaped by what he thinks, what she expects, what our parents want, what our boss demands. And the wild part? The people setting those expectations, they're doing the same exact thing. But exposure? Exposure is the cost of connection in a world addicted to performance. And through this project, I just want to see who people are under the mask. And I'm going to do the first thing that comes to mind. I'm going to go to New York City. I'm going to ask people. I'm going to go to New York City. And I'm going to ask strangers some raw, personal, and maybe uncomfortable questions. And whatever comes up, comes out. So let's see what's real. But before I go, I want to ask you a question. When was the last time you let yourself truly be seen? Just got off the train. Yo, we're entering the spot. Look at everyone here. Well, we're having a great day. We're about to go ask some questions to some strangers right now. The hub where all the 9-to-5ers are, all the bums, everyone, who knows what people are doing on the streets these days. That guy over there looks like a prospect. He's just on his phone. I don't know, do you think? Could I ask you a question? Okay. He said no. Okay, we have to.
Alright, that's our first rejection.
First rejection. Okay. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Okay, no. Can I ask you a question? Alright, okay. Excuse me? Can I ask you a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Excuse me? Can I ask you a question? Alright, well, whatever. Oh. Uh-oh.
No cameras.
That's the department to do that.
Oh, really? Yeah. We just got kicked out of Grand Central for recording.
Wait,
Can't
hold up.
record at Grand Central anymore.
Let's ask this guy a question.
You say you'd like to see me try. Climbing.
What's one thing that you crave in life that you're ashamed of craving?
Love.
Can I ask you a question?
Question.
What's a controversial idea or opinion you have that you feel like most people wouldn't agree with?
Your opinion and idea. I've got lots of them.
What's a controversial opinion or take that you have on the world that you feel like most people wouldn't agree with?
Women's rights. Women's rights are oppressed in other countries, and they're becoming oppressed here also.
You can ask me a question if I can ask you a question.
You can ask me a question.
I was like, man, I gotta ask him a question. Why is he asking, can I ask you a question?
All right. What's one stereotype that you think is true?
Mexicans work hard.
Dominicans being loud. They're loud as fuck, okay? We're loud as fuck.
It's true.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? What's your biggest fear?
God. Try to jump it?
I'm down.
Alright.
Oh,
do
shit.
this one. This one's easiest. Get on here or go here.
Did you hear about the woman in Atlanta?
What happened in Atlanta?
She is brain dead and pregnant, and they will not allow her parents to take off life-saving breathing equipment. The state says the baby comes first. She has to stay brain dead for another 4 months.
I'm sorry. All right, we're headed to Washington Square Park now. What's something in this day and age you feel like you can't joke about anymore?
Politics.
What about politics?
Seems like society is afraid to express their feelings about any topic.
Were things different when you were, younger, out and about?
Probably not. They just seem to be.
Yeah. What's your name?
Mud Fat.
Sorry?
Mud Fat. Poetry, Mud Fat.
You talked about you saw someone die in front of you. Like, what does that feel like?
And the place where I was, I knew I shouldn't have been. It was nothing up here, right? And I was like, oh, snap, this man is dying. We ain't got no food, ain't no water here. He's just there, you know what I'm saying, ready to die. Yeah. He couldn't talk no more. It was gagging, but he wanted something. All of us was right in front of him. It was real sad. Then after that, the ambulance came, the police came, but then I got numb. Depression for 4 days and all this stuff, right? Thinking that we did some people poisoned. Then they found out that the man wasn't poisoned. It's drugs they've been taking for all these years. Angel dust. Don't take angel dust.
It's angel dust.
You don't even want to know.
Nowadays, selling weed. Like, what's it like?
Well, I'm not selling weed. So.
All right. Do you think you've ever been the villain in somebody else's story?
No, I hope not. I don't know, I hope not. No.
When was the last time you pretended to be okay when you really weren't?
Giving birth?
Oh. All right, if you could call your younger self for 5 minutes, what would you say to him? What would you say to him?
Do better.
I'd say you're a douchebag.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Baseball player.
Baseball player, why?
I like it. I like the sport.
Why do you like baseball?
I don't know, I just like it.
Wait, why do you like to jump around on the rock so much?
Just like to keep my energy going. I get energy from the sun.
1, 2, 3. Oh, let's go.
Tell us what's going on. what's wrong with the mayor? What's wrong with the mayor? What's wrong with the mayor?
Don't ask me a fucking question. City Hall. Go that way. Tell the mayor to suck your dick.
What's over there?
Tell the mayor to suck your dick. What the fuck? You know what the fuck means? It means what the fuck.
Alright, let's go.
Suck! What the fuck?
Jules, let's show them the books. Poems for junkies, whores, priests, and madmen. Very interesting.
What's that? You're already being so bad.
Like, what's your favorite thing about poetry?
I think it deconstructs language.
Deconstructs language. How so?
Poetry is the one thing that hasn't sold out yet.
Ooh. Can you tell us a poem? Just like one of your favorites or something like that?
I can do Allen Ginsberg, a part of Howl. Alright, you ready? I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, dragging themselves to the Negro streets at dawn, searching for an angry fix. Those angel-headed hipsters burning for that ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo and the machinery of night.
Do you mind if I just ask what that means to you?
I don't know, I just thought it was cool.
Oh shit, alright. Watching James, someone that I just met, recite that poem not for its truth or power, but simply because it sounded cool, held something of value for me. But I didn't know it yet. Throughout the day, we had gotten spit on, screamed at, our cameras had failed, and we were always running around, charging our batteries in random stores in between every take. But as the day went on, and the more conversations we had, a pattern started forming. I began to see how thin the line really is between silence and honesty, and that most are just waiting for a reason to cross it. Have you ever stayed in a job, place, relationship, or anything out of fear?
Oh man, that's a jam-packed question, but yes.
Have you ever once lied or changed something about yourself to fit in?
Absolutely, many times.
Do you believe there's such thing as true love?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
What defines true love?
Um,
I have a bunch of questions. All right. What's your biggest fear?
Dying too young.
Dying single.
Nothing.
Nothing? You don't fear anything?
No.
Why dying too young?
I stood at a job out of fear of my dad, knowing that I might leave the job, so not wanting to disappoint him.
I think true love is just about feeling safe, and not just like physical safety, but more so emotional safety. Like,
Can you tell me a story when that happened?
Well, I remember in my early 20s, I would sometimes lie that I was Puerto Rican. I would say I was Brazilian just to be more exotic.
Why do you think being Brazilian makes you more exotic?
I don't know. I guess coming from the Bronx, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans, and then being in Manhattan, I realized that, I don't know, it was just something more different.
Because at the end of the day, I still got a lot of things I'm trying to accomplish. Like I'm a DJ for me, so I don't want to die too young and then all that progress for nothing for me.
What do you want to accomplish?
I ain't gonna lie, I want to be a leader. For me, I want to be like a motivator to everybody in the music community, because there's a lot of things going on. People dying before 21, people dying before 18 and stuff like that.
I stayed in a relationship, not wanting to disappoint her or her family out of pressure. But I wasn't really invested.
How did you find yourself like breaking out of those things, if you did?
Can I curse on here? I was like, fuck it.
You know, now obviously in my 30s, I'm like, well, that's stupid. Like, just embrace your who you are. Like, that's who God created you to be, then that's who I am, you know? So, yeah.
you could say any stupid, dark, crazy, insane, obnoxious thought, and you know that that person would never change the way they look at you. They still look at you the same way they did when you first met. I think to me that's love.
I gotta be true to myself, because the person got with me for that, for who I am. That was part of who I was, so I didn't want to force it. So I just cut it.
Didn't you ask us what the meaning of life is? What do you think the meaning of life is?
So that is a deep question, but I truly believe after trying to find in my 20s, I literally was doing everything. Like I grew up Catholic, but I did Buddhism, Muhammad, psychics, Reiki, yoga. I was trying to find the truth, trying to find the meaning of life.
Did you grow up in a religious background?
I didn't grow up in a religious background, but I found, like, as I got older, I had like a Hindu background, but then I found Krishna consciousness.
That's beautiful. Sounds like you are very happily in love. Based off
I'm
experience.
single, but thanks. I'm super single, but thank you. I appreciate that.
And it wasn't until when I was 28 years old, I got bedridden, I was sick, and I read the Bible for myself, and I started going back to church, and everything started to change. And I realized the meaning of life is to love others and to love God.
Yeah, what's something you just want to tell someone? Just let it out.
I always wanted to be a monk and be in the mountains of the Himalayas. But everyone has a duty, and your duty is louder than the needs that you want.
What emotion do you hide the most, and why?
When I'm sad. But you said sadness, I would say the same thing. I don't know, everything nowadays is just embarrassing.
It's not about religion, it's about doing well for others. So that's what I truly think the meaning of life is. But a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind.
What's your duty?
My duty is to be a servant, right, of the Supreme, right? In terms of because he's the controller of both material and spiritual. Like my other duty is to inspire people, man.
Inspire people, that's powerful.
Like inspire people to be unapologetic like themselves, you know? Like if you got a sign and you want to rock up to someone and be like, yo, I got questions for you. It should be like that.
Caught on camera, I had unknowingly walked past this man several times before I was able to sit down and interview him. Although the audio had cut out, when asked what he would do if given a week left to live, he replied, well, I'm homeless, so running and flipping off of rooftops. Things like that. Really anything I could. He then pivoted the conversation, warning us to not follow in the footsteps of the mistakes of his generation. What led him to this exact spot? Drugs, alcohol, and trying to fit in, he said. Yet even as he unraveled his rocky story in front of the camera, his eyes still managed to brighten up. and a smile still managed to slip through. A passion, a light, no matter how dimmed by the world around.
And after all, we're only.
What's your biggest fear in life?
My biggest fear in life? Oh, wow. Wait, where the camera? Where the camera's at?
Camera's right here.
Okay. Oh, shit, this is real. Oh, nah.
Hold on. We got a little one right here. What's the language?
Oh, man. Yo, my biggest fear in life is going across the bridge and it collapsing.
Excuse me? Could I ask you a question?
What?
Alright. If you could let the guardrails down right now and chase your dream, what dream would you chase?
Oh, the dream I would chase is to be happy, healthy, and peaceful, my brother.
Beautiful.
Aru.
It's for a project. I just graduated high school. So. Alright. No questions?
What you want to know?
I'm just asking everybody different questions just about life, like random ones. Like I have a random one in my head right now. So, what kind of people do you think are beneath you?
No one is beneath anyone. Everything is a state of mind. So if you think someone is beneath you, then so be it.
Are beneath me? I'd say probably people who don't work as hard. A lot of people in this world, in my opinion, procrastinate. And I try not to procrastinate, just try to do whatever I can and do the best I can.
If you don't believe anyone is beneath you, then that's what it is. No one is beneath me.
Also Sicilians, because I'm not Napolitan, but no, I'm kidding. Don't put that.
It's a great answer. Thank you. Yay!
You guys want to ask a question?
If your life ended today, what part would feel unfinished?
What part would feel unfinished?
Oh gosh. Why did the first thing that came to my mind was my career? But I feel like that's a horrible thing to say. The New York mentality is that your career is never finished.
What's something that you silently judge other people for?
Oh my god. Probably for like invading your space, especially in New York.
So what I'm doing right now?
No, not necessarily because you asked.
Oh,
you know, when people without asking, you know, they just kind of unaware and they just get into your space and you're like, hey, what's happening, you know?
Yeah. Would you mind if I asked you a question? Just one?
His name is Meals by Cruz.
If your life ended right now, what part would feel unfinished?
Your sister. I would probably say my relationship with my family.
I have a lot of art that I haven't made that I still need to make.
I would be most concerned about my dog because she's like my daughter.
What kind of art?
Music, visual art.
But seriously, you don't want to answer?
That's the answer.
What about your relationship with your family?
It's just had its ups and downs. It's mostly good. It's not like super traumatic or anything, but I feel like I have avoidant behavior and I just like avoid them sometimes.
What was your greatest loss?
You coming off me.
If you could let the guardrails down right now and chase any dream of yours, what dream would it be?
I would chase the dream I'm chasing right now, man. I'm an aspiring artist. You know, I make music, I sing.
Oh, it would be art. There are no guardrails in my life. I mean, I've been accomplishing all of my dreams, chasing all of my dreams. That's why I got like paint on my nails right now. I'll be spray painting and shit.
That's cool.
I'll do a whole mural on your guys' channel and shit if you guys want.
I understand English, but I'm gonna answer in Italian.
A lot of people get judged for expressing themselves in like unique ways, wearing whatever they want, doing dancing on the street or doing something crazy. And I'm just like, you know, do you.
What kind of music?
I sing, it's like pop music, emotional pop, you know, melodic, that type of vibe. I just put out a song called Savage. My artist name is Penthouse Benji. It's fire.
Okay. What would people be most surprised to learn about you?
I don't know.
He was in a coma twice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, what happened? What happened?
I was in a coma twice.
Sleep apnea. Came back to life.
I died and came back to life.
So you could ask the most important question. What was it like to be dead?
¿Cómo llegaste a eso? Solo le pegaste.
Should we go back? Should we go back? Luckily, we went back. Should we go back? After relentlessly searching through Little Italy, we we found the man sitting with his family at a nearby restaurant. Through this, we had learned that over 30 million Americans suffer from sleep apnea, but only 6 million are officially diagnosed, meaning that many live with the condition, unaware that they have it. Although the audio had failed on us, he had told us about his experience with death, falling asleep, waking up in the hospital, and a lack of a sense of nothingness, terrifying dreams, and to his interpretation, what he believed was heaven and hell.
I just appreciate y'all out here trying to inspire people chasing their dreams. Yeah, I feel like in our daily life, we do wear a lot of masks. I mean, people try to, phase themselves out of whatever they're thinking about, what they really want to do. I ask people all the time, I'm like, okay, if you wasn't here at work, what would you be doing? And they tell me, and they're like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do that. And I ask, well, aren't you?
Do you? I would rather see people expressing themselves, fully and being themselves and inspiring me to be more of myself than to kind of just be like, I don't want to do anything that's gonna make anyone judge me.
If you could achieve your biggest dream in life, what would it be?
A lot of land, a lot of farmland.
Perché io sono un ragazzo superficiale, posso sembrare un ragazzo superficiale, ma quando mi conosci sono un cuore d'oro, sono generoso.
And it's because they're like, oh, well, I need money, fuck this economy.
What specifically would you do with the farmland?
I would grow food for myself and for other people, for people who don't have food. And of course, I would grow my weed because I'm a cannabis connoisseur.
Aiuto sempre il prossimo, do anche i dollari ai passanti, agli homeless. Questo è, ragazzi. Tutto da scoprire.
I heard generous.
I think it's like people who are free. That's the thing,
That's what matters.
Be free. Thank you.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, nobody cares.